let's summarize it real quick. First of all, right now, Tarkov Arena on TwitchCon is happening. They're doing matches and tournaments or whatever it is. Anyways, from there, they showed the new map, which is, I'm a little bit disappointed, sadly, because I was hoping this is actually a more interesting map. Show this map. This was an arena map. It's a new map, but like, it's this. They've been streaming this map for 3 hours, or I don't know, like an hour. It's okay. It's It's like a COD map. It's the, you know, the whatever it is, the prison map. It looks like a generic Valorant map, or like, I don't know, like COD map. I'm not like super excited about the map, sadly. It's just my general opinion. What he talked about is TLDR. He said he's gonna fix the issues on this wipe, which you guys all know, there's duping issues, and then like such as other issues, the trader reputation, and just a bunch of other issues. The quest re-rolling back, they didn't fix any of those. I thought they ditched the wipe, but Nikita said he's gonna fix it, and then they're gonna do like 15.1 or 2, and like last wipe when the bolting was a big issue, they fixed it after like a big patch. So I think that's gonna happen, it seems. Nikita literally mentioned it himself. And then they talked about free market is gonna be gone or not. Nikita talks about he doesn't like the flea market, but he wants it to be, you know, for a lot of people will be angry about it, so he doesn't want everyone to be angry, so he'll think about it. But they talked about it all of a sudden, so which was kind of interesting. And another thing is that Nikita said he's already working on the new game, which is, yeah, I mean, we already kind of knew about it, but yeah, he's like, we're gonna fully release the game. We're not ditching the game, but we're already working on a new game, which is, he has been mentioning, kind of mentioning, but this time I think he mentioned it more, you know, blatant way. I bet it's Russia 2028 because there's not any other info we know about. It might be something totally different, who knows. He just said new game, he didn't tell us anything else. And they talked about, Nikita talked about the full storyline for a full storyline quest, which sounds like it's not about all the quests we already have, like this finding the stupid Salawa and then, you know, doing a bunch of other stuff, but it sounds like they're gonna release the full new storyline quest, which I'm a little bit worried about, because if they don't test it before the full release, it's gonna be buggy, but they said it's gonna be happening. And they talked about the loot, if it's the loot, do you like it in hardcore way? And Nikita was like, I'm hardcore fan, I want the loot to be scarce, but you know, you guys don't want it to be like that. And also, you know, for the audience, for the players, it should be too much hardcore. So I don't think they're gonna nerf the loot again and again and again. But he wanted like the 1 grenade per week. Well, yeah, that's what he was saying. But I agree on that. I always talk about Dark Souls and Elden Ring. Dark Souls was super hardcore, but it became really popular whenever Elden Ring dropped. So some hardcore games needs to become, you know, a little bit casually for casual players to enjoy, so they can actually expand. That's what's happening in Tarkov, in my opinion. Like, they're putting more QOL stuff, and the game loot is easier. This wipe was super fast. etc. And they talked about Tarkov Convention, which is, I don't know, Tarkov Convention. It's gonna be fun. It's a pretty interesting idea, I guess. And then Arena LAN party at the same time. So yeah, they talked about those two stuff. And then he talked about 50 million people are interested in their game, which I'm thinking it might be just the community number that he calculated somehow. Maybe like, you know, Discord, Twitter, all of those stuff. Or maybe he sold 50 million copies. It's not 15 million. He exaggerated it. He emphasized on it's not 15 million, it's 50 million, which is phenomenal number, not gonna lie. And then he did talk about the PBE. He talks about PBE, a small number of people, which we all knew, kinda, because the development of PBE is really shite. It's really bad. Also, like, yeah, if you're a PBE player, you know it. There's a lot of bugs. They're not fixing it. I'm kind of feel bad about the PBE developers. They're like, you know, barely sleeping, I bet, or I don't know. Anyways, there's a small portion of the developers who's working on PBE, he said, and he was surprised that he said like he had a fun surprise about PvE. I bet because when he released PvE, he earned a lot of money. That's what I'm thinking. He didn't exactly mention it. The next one was the throat protection. You guys love dying to throat, right? But because of that, a lot of people were talking about what the hell is going on with the throat. Can we do something about it? Because it's only 3 class armor or something like that from certain armors, not really like a plate for it or any protection. But Nikita said most likely something's gonna happen on throat protection. And Unity 2022, he said it will gradually become better, but right now it's ongoing on ETS. They're testing it. It's not like phenomenally good. But that was the target. They wanted to check out if it's actually working or not, you know? To check out if there's a problem, that's gonna be the first problem to solve, but it's actually working. So that was their target and it's actually working. It's not like better performance yet. And he mentioned about the huge remarkable event, which I'm thinking about it's gonna be Halloween event. If you think about the Cultist Circle or the whole Honored Edition fiasco, was kind of related to Halloween event, so it's gonna be pretty amazing if they add something. I just thought about it. It just popped on my mind. The 14-hour you're not getting Cultist Circle result might be supposed to be popping something related to Halloween event, maybe, or it might be just Christmas balls they added but accidentally and then they deleted it. Who knows? Anyways, that was the summary. Did I miss anything, guys, on the chat? Oh. I didn't write it down because it was kind of stupid. But let's talk about it really briefly. Gambling on arena tournament? I was like, what is this guy talking about? And then Nikita was like, of course, it's kind of illegal in some countries, so we're considering about it. And I'm like, what is this question and answer? I guess it was a question from a random player, and then I don't know. It was super weird. No, I mean, it was, if it's like in-game currency, who cares? It's perfect fine. Or maybe, I don't know. But like, in real life currency, they also mentioned those. I don't understand why, but like, I guess it was asked questions in the question list. So that was the full summary. So if you guys want to check out the full interview, I'll put it on the next to this summary part. So do check out the full video if you want to. If you don't want to, you guys can move on.
TwitchCon San Diego. Guys, how are you doing? Absolutely rubbish. Guys, how are you doing? That was kind of the same energy, but more people joined in. I'll accept it for now. I'm sitting down on the sofa with Nikita or Nick.
Okay.
Because we're
what the hell happened to Sarah?
he said I could call him Nick. Guys, if you don't know who this man is, the founder of Battle State Games, of Escape from Tarkov and Escape from Tarkov Arena, and DJ extraordinaire, probably a bunch of other stuff as well, but we've only got like half an hour. So, Nick, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Hey. Welcome, and as always, love to be here on a TwitchCon.
Let's see what he says.
Let's go.
And Nick joined us in Rotterdam as well. We were playing Arena at TwitchCon EU. He came up, we asked him a ton of questions. He gave us the answers to some of them. He refused to give us the answers to the others. And I know that you wanted to start off with some statements today, right? To talk about the state of the game?
Yeah. Like quick.
You ditched this wipe, right, Nikita?
Right now, so the thing that I want to mention that we just released the like milestones and stuff for the future.
Roadmap.
It has a lot of things that will be in the game, so you should like check it and see by yourself. But also, there's the thing that we prepare pretty cool stuff for you this year, and we won't disclose it yet because we want to make a surprise for you guys. And yeah, so things are going, bugs getting fixed. So don't worry, all the issues that we have right now, it's getting addressed as we speak, because even we are here, it's a really limited amount of people right here. the team is working 24/7 to fix all of this stuff, to fix all of this, annoying things within the game. So don't worry, everything will be all right.
And
it's
the trader
almost
reps
10 years
and arena
of
linkage.
Escape from Tarkov. It's a huge number actually, and it's pretty unique for the gaming industry to have the game which being worked on for the whole 10 years, and it's a miracle. Not only it was done not only by ourselves, but with you guys, of course, the players, and all of these engaged people who are into this Escape from Tarkov miracle. So thank you guys. And
the trader Western
that's
Mist
what I wanted to say for the status.
carried from the last
10
one
years
in
of
ETC.
development on this game.
Not
Guys,
many people.
Come on.
More?
And the
all right.
amount of work that goes into this game is just, I mean, it bleeds out of every pore of Tarkov. Like, just the detail of everything is so phenomenally in-depth. And the community feedback, I know, is incredibly important to the Battlestate Games team. And we have questions here, a mixture of just things that we wanted to ask and community questions as well. And I think it's time to get into them because we have a lot and I don't know if we're going to be able to get through them all. So I'm going to read these out exactly as written because I want to make sure that if someone asks a question, it's asked properly. So Nick, first question, are you happy with the current state of the game's economy and the player's progression? Will we ever see a more hardcore enemy?
So
Interesting.
yeah, this vibe particularly, it's not what's supposed to be in terms of progression, because we added arena, we added this new marathon quest, and it actually gave you a lot of experience, so the pace was increased for sure. And it's not how it's meant to be in Escape from Tarkov style, so most likely for the next vibe there will be some changes that will slow down the progress for sure, because right now, let's take it as it is, as a test maybe.
Yeah, this is a test wipe.
That's it.
I can feel it.
It's not like a problem, because of course, we get it, that it was too fast actually. But some of you, still think that it's okay, because not everyone is a streamer basically. And have an option to play the game every single day for 6 hours, 8 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, every single vibe there is something new is going on in terms of balance, economy, and stuff. So let it be this way. So this vibe is different. The next vibe will be totally different too, and everything will be balanced in different way. We'll see how it will go.
Okay, so what is the future direction of the game? So MMO, maybe massively multiplayer online, or something closer to a raid-based shooter?
So right now, I think the most part of the bigger part of the team is working on an actual completion of the game.
Again.
So you all know that the game will have storyline quests, and it will have an option to finally escape from Tarkov. So that's why we're pushing on it. And right now it's more about to add the end game content within the game.
It was this year though.
Yeah, it will be
Nikita.
around the whole principle of raids, and it will be around like this. Because the MMO aspect of the game, it still will be in there, but I think the gameplay wise, and we kind of settled in, and I think the core gameplay is ready, and we won't change something drastically. So yeah, this is it.
Next question's about the flea market. It says, there was a poll made to remove the flea market next wipe, and 47% said yes, 45% said no. Will we ever expect to see a wipe without a flea market,
I guess it will be
just
fun.
as a test? And what are the general plans for the flea market?
So the percentage is not all right, because it will leave a lot of people unhappy, basically, if we select this or that.
Yeah.
So most likely the removal of the flea market will be as an option for the hardcore mode. So we plan to have this whole prestige system within the game, and you will be able to pick the perks and the drawbacks before you start the game. And one of the drawbacks will be like removal of the flea market. So at least it will be as a test for some of you guys if you will select that option. But other than that, I'm not sure that we will remove it totally for the vibe. But again, it's possible actually.
It's like Zomboid.
I love the idea that every single vibe has something new, has something different in it. So who knows, maybe we'll remove that at least for one wipe and see how it will go. Because I personally don't like the flea market. I was loving it. I was loving it for the many years. And right now, I'm feeling that it's not good for the progression and for the whole principle of the game itself. But it is what it is. It's a different style of gameplay. You can have basically the different role within the game. You can be the trader basically, and you won't need to play the game as much that other people do. So it is as a workable, livable thing within the game, but yet, due to the complexity of the game, all of this stuff we have in the game, flea market adds unneeded
RM tiers.
Let's say combination, unneeded things that actually boost up or slow down progress. It's kind of hard to track the progress and how to be on the pace with the progress within the game with the flea market, because it allows you basically to make your progress much more faster by obtaining items. Like high-end items in early stages of the game. So it's not cool. We will think about it in the future. So yeah, maybe something will be happening about it, but at least it will be an option for the hardcore mode for the game.
I honestly, one of my favorite things about speaking to Nick is that you can tell there's not really like a PR filter like you get when you do most interviews. Like someone will ask, like, what do you think about this feature of the game? And he's like, I don't like it.
Bro, not gonna lie.
Like it's
he's humongous.
That kind of honesty is exactly why we've got
humongous.
This huge crowd. People standing behind the crowd as well, watching this. So thank you for coming to talk to us. And you've been working on this, like you said, for a decade now, 10 years. So what are the plans for the team for after Tarkov? Will you resume development on Russia 2028, or are you working on something different?
So first of all, the Tarkov will not end with the release of the game, so it will be DLCs and stuff.
Scav Life.
And most importantly, there will be new game. And we already kind of started the pre-production phase on that.
What?
And
no, it's gonna teach Tarkov.
But again, the EFT must be released, must be polished, and actually all of the stuff we planned for the release is kind of locked in. We actually don't add anything right now, so it's kind of locked and ready to be done and eventually to be released. And that's important. After that, we will have the DLCs and everything, so the game will be live for at least one more decade or something, because it's already became a classic, I guess, and that's cool. That's cool because it's always a good thing for us, for developers, to see every single year for the whole 10 years. We kind of pushing our limits to something even bigger and bigger and bigger. And as I said before, it's a true miracle, and not only about our hard work, it's also about you guys, about your reactions, your feedback, and your dedication to the project. I received so many responses for this only single day. So yeah, we love you guys, and thank you for staying with us. Like, it's a good thing for us to keep going. Thank you.
Typical answer. I love you guys. Bye, more.
And I think, honestly, saying that this game is a classic is kind of underselling it. Like, you literally spawned a genre of games now that are just sort of like, hey, have you played this new Tarkov knockoff game? Like, it is pretty incredible to basically now have your own category of games based on what you guys have done continue to do.
It was totally unexpected that there will be a realization that we actually
not a bad
created a
answer.
genre. It was unexpected to say the least. So yeah, yet again, we just want to create a unique experience, and maybe it sounds dull, it sounds okay, but we really are trying to do the best, and it's still 10 years, and we still have something for you guys to surprise, and 100% you will love it.
Okay.
And yeah, you will experience that, and yeah, that's the most important thing.
Well,
to
he
see
didn't say
your
that-
reactions, to see your feelings, to see your basically
least-
surprised, and it's super cool for us.
At least she
to-
didn't say that
to
on
see
her
that
on her
and to feel
edition
that too.
release. So
I want to
Yeah.
roll the next two questions into one because they're both related to what you said before about how development doesn't end when the game gets finally released as a
of course they're gonna have to
polished
play like
game
Path
with
of
endgame
Exile or
content.
Diablo seasonal.
Will there be more endgame
things.
content?
New
For
content
example,
every season.
Having something to spend millions of rubles
people to
on
stay in
for a
the game.
unique item that persists through wipes. More rewards for achievements such as unique hideout decorations, trophies, or any other long-term goals we can progress towards. And would there be any new monetization plans like camo skins, clothes, hideout cosmetics, things
He's
like
gonna
that?
say there's none.
As I mentioned before, there will be a prestige system that will allow you to play the game constantly, repeatedly, and to earn some unique stuff. So you basically will complete the game, complete the main quests, and you will be able to restart it, but you will receive the prestige points or something. So it will be different prestige levels and some unique stuff, the first thing. And again, as I mentioned it before, all of the end game content will be settled in the storyline quests. To complete the storyline quest, you will need to complete almost every aspect of the game. You will need to spend a lot of money within the game, complete a lot of quests. So basically, the main driver to experience the end game content will be the completion of the storyline quests. And of course, I cannot say more about it because, as I mentioned it many times, the quests, storyline quests, will be available only in released version of the game. You won't be able to test them before because it's the final, how to say it,
There's
final
gonna be
shot. Let's
a lot
say
of
it like
issues
this,
whenever
to
we get
surprise
that.
you in a good way and to have this feeling
Yeah,
that the
but it's gonna
game
be buggy,
is
but
actually completed.
understandable.
And all of your effort you put in the game will be around some very important tasks called storyline quests.
Okay.
So yeah, eventually, soon enough,
So
you will
nothing
experience that.
right now we have
Yes,
is
we
the
spend
storyline
a lot
quest.
of time on that right now. We started doing them in the last year, so it's an ongoing process. A lot of effort is being put onto the storyline quests, and hopefully you will enjoy it soon enough.
Soon enough. That's not soon enough. Everyone is just so excited.
This
for
year.
the endgame content
Where did
for
this year
game
part go,
to
Nick?
be released in full. Are there any plans to rework the operational tasks? Currently, they are too randomized and sometimes have out-of-the-way objectives for little reward. For example, killing other scavs as a scav for an operational quest
I
for
don't really
fence for only
care about
0.1
this.
rep and a few bandages. And I'm going to remind you, these are questions from the community. And I'm trying to read them as they're presented. They're quite blunt questions, a lot of them.
I mean, it's like not really
For the
that
operational
important.
tasks, I think there will be another balancing pass on them because there is a lot of different like generated subtasks for that, and it's not always perfect in terms of awards and everything. So most likely it will be balanced pretty quick, maybe for the next patch or the patch after the next patch. So yeah, something will be done in terms of that.
In your opinion, what is the ideal loot economy meant to be? Do you want resources to be scarce and more hardcore, or do you want players to hunt expensive items to fund lesser valued items through the flea market and traders?
In my opinion, it should be scarce
It's a
and
good
then
question, actually. 'Cause
big jackpot.
I was always a
Once
fan
in a life.
of core type of game. So the initial concept of the game was about the actual struggling. So the ammo and everything, like treatment items, the initial concept about them was like they were too scarce, like too rare to find, and that was kind of main thing. So you actually need to find like 5 rounds, 10 rounds, like one single grenade in 1 week. So
that would
I
make
was
more
always
sense,
a
to be
fan of that.
honest.
So it's like hardcore
But
type of thing.
I think casual players will hate
Due
it.
to expansion of the game, let's call it like this, a lot of people got excited about the game, and we got a lot of people from the mainstream even, so it was too hard for them to actually understand and play the game. So
Yeah.
we decided to track it and make the game like not super hardcore, like mid-core or something. So yeah, it needs to be done because
If you want a famous game, you can't
I'm
do
a
that.
fan of the game being hard on you. I'm a fan of the true hardcore experience, and I was always repeating myself that the game is not
It's
for
like
fun.
Dark Souls
EFT
becoming
It's not a fun game. It's not for
Elden
your
Ring.
pleasure. It's just a pain in the ass, basically. And it's okay. It's okay, because you will receive that emotions when you finally complete, when you finally win the raid. So you will receive that emotions, and that's one of the main things about the game. But if you got it too hard, you will receive a lot of responses, a lot of things that will draw attention of the game. So that's why we need to balance these things and make it somewhere in between truly hardcore experience and the mid-core experience, something like that.
That's so. I can't imagine a single other game developer being like, our game is not supposed to be fun.
There's 50,000 developers
true,
being like
that's
that, sadly.
I love it. I love your honesty. And honestly, it's just so refreshing to talk to you up here, Nick. Hey, and by the way, Escape from Tarkov Arena that we're playing on stage all weekend is free this weekend. It is free to play until Monday. So if you haven't played it, go and play it in the LAN. If you're watching at home, play this game while you can for free this weekend. And this next question is about that. With the free weekend going on for Arena, do you believe that Arena could become a free-to-play game at some point in the future?
Moving on to Arena.
I'm not sure, because Arena is a big part of the EFT. So it's not like you can play it separately, of course, but the game, the Arena, is the big part of the EFT lore and everything. So I'm not sure that it eventually will be free to play, but at least free weekends is a kind of good thing for Arena. So most likely we will continue this practice in the future.
Okay.
How do you handle the balance in terms of developing quality of life features and releasing the content patch pretty much every month?
Well, QOL, it barely happens.
I was just talking about EFT is not a fun game. The
Yeah,
development
but
of EFT
QOL doesn't matter,
is not
man.
a fun development. Because you guys,
I don't know.
we can feel your
Hardcore,
pain.
no QOL,
And
it's so
we
stupid.
actually have a lot of pain within the development too. So it's everything surrounded by suffering. And it's kind of okay, I guess, because it actually allows us to understand that the things are like what we're doing is important, because it actually has some kind of meaning, because everything is getting achieved with the pain. And
Yes, I get
that's a good
that. I
thing.
get that. But QOL is
How
a
we
completely
balance quality
different
of life
idea.
features and the
I
content,
mean,
it actually doesn't link
perspective.
anyhow, because we have different separate team for the content, different teams of the quality of life features. We have a huge list of the quality of life features, and it's always it's always a thing that we cannot take them. We cannot take all of them for the patches, and we try to select the most important ones. And this is a thing that we can call a balance, because we just select things which are most important for the people or have the most influence on the gameplay in terms of quality of life features.
Okay.
And that's it. The content is a separate thing, and they just go in and go in and go in. They doesn't link anyhow to the quality of life feature production.
All right.
Something that I think a lot of people here might be interested in. There have been discussions about Tarkon for Tarkov players, like an actual convention for Tarkov players. Now,
What?
I would love to hear if there are any more plans for that. And
Like TwitchCon?
also, are there any plans to host EFT Arena LANs at some point in next year or so?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes? Oh, they're gonna
So
open
yeah,
a
we have
Tarkon?
plans for that, for Tarkon.
Wow. Okay.
I know that it's kind of frozen right now because we have a lot of events going right now, like TwitchCon, and so on.
Full release.
But the game will be here for the long time, at least for 10 years. And of course, I think all this engagement. So we have approximate overall engagement of the whole community around the world. Like the people who are actually interested in the game, it's something around 50 million people. 50, not 15, 50 million people.
What?
And the number is so huge.
So he
Of
sold
course,
50
this
million
a
copies?
potential
Is he saying
buyers
that?
of the game, so the people who actually interested in the game.
No,
and
not
I
10
believe
years
that we
better.
need to do something in terms of
Or is he just talking about
stuff,
community?
to make
Number
some
of
kind of
community?
event, some kind of conference. So this task is still on the tracks somewhere, and eventually it will be 100%. And what was the second question?
The second question was whether or not there are any plans to host arena LANs at some point in the next
Where's
year.
that arena lens?
Yes, because I believe it's already being done something in that direction. Even now, for the TwitchCon, we automated a lot of stuff for the specific purpose of the tournaments. And I believe in the future, it also will be possible. Again, with your engagement and with it, if I will see the need of additional
Tournament.
action related
obviously
for
they're gonna
the
do that.
events like tournaments and stuff, we will definitely do
Is
it.
it going to be successful or not?
So
That's a completely different issue.
we can
but-
refer to your opinion and to your reaction. If we see that you guys are wanting it,
LAN parties.
so we are on it and we will
Arena
do it.
LAN.
That's it.
I
What
thought
do
he
you
was
think,
saying
guys? Do you want
land.
to see some LANs for this game?
Lens. LAN party lens. I thought
I
they
think
were
there's
saying
a lot of support
Okay.
for that.
like island
So he has to
land.
do it now. You wanted it. He said. So. Hey, we see a lot of esports tournaments already as well being hosted by Battlestate Games. We've seen a lot this year. And there are other tournament organizers now trying to get involved as well. Have you ever considered introducing
like something like that.
betting so players could have an extra incentive to watch the tournament?
Island.
What do you mean exactly?
I think this question means like gambling on the outcome of the events and things like that.
What? Wait, I didn't listen to the question.
Actually, I don't know, because we were never about this particular case.
Betting for
We
tourneys.
actually always about the experience, the emotions, and so on.
That's a weird question.
So I think this particular thing is more on the organizers, I guess, on the promo companies and so on. So
I wonder if, outside of just straight up gambling, whether there's like any possibility to have an in-game option to like maybe bet on like esports events that are going, some sort of integration that's actually like in the game itself.
Betting for the game.
Again, it could be done within
know.
the
I
in-game
don't know what these
currency
guys are
or
talking
something.
about anymore.
It could be done 100%. But if it will be
in-game
based
stuff?
on a real currency, it could be a violation in many, many countries around the world. So that's why
like,
we
what?
are not like thinking about it right now.
What?
So yeah.
Okay, I don't know why you guys are even mentioning that.
With the release of PvE,
Huh?
which is actually almost like a standalone project, how did the process change in the development team? Did you divert some specialists from the team, like just to focus on the PvE?
Actually,
PvE.
it's a pretty small part of the team who is working on a PvE functionality.
Yeah, I can see that, bro.
And, there was a moment that we did fully standalone offline raids. There was a moment we actually redesigned stuff in there, but it's not like a big amount of people working on that. But still, we have a pretty big plans for the PvE with the additions of different features and stuff. So the general like development process didn't change basically. But with all of this interest of the PvE, people loved PvE. It was unexpected, actually. And yeah, we decided to add more resources to continue developing the whole PvE subsystems. So yeah, PvE was a surprise, for sure, for me. For sure.
With the popularity of PvE, and it took you by surprise, and talks of mod support as well, are there any plans to make it compatible with pre-existing third-party mods with the inclusion of modding frameworks for Unity, such as Bepinex?
The whole idea behind the mods, I like the idea that players, creators will have an option to actually create mods for the game, for the PvE. And I was saying,
I think he's
some time
surprised
ago
talking about this that he earned a lot of money from PvE. PvE. I think he's saying that.
Moderations.
It was like, oh my god, they're buying this much.
That will actually
I think he's talking about that.
An ability to
He does hate
basically add
SPT.
mods and stuff for the PvE. So I like that idea. And all of the existing stuff, we will have
For sure.
a process, like a pipeline for adding those modifications officially within the game. So I 100% about it. So it's totally a good thing for the game. And yeah, like let's wait for it. I think it will be available sometime after release. So yeah.
Fantastic. You actually answered my next question with that question as well, so that was fantastic. Are there any plans to have more armor to include throat protection or even a standalone set for the neck itself? As this is quite a hot topic to the community right now.
That was interesting.
And I know a lot of players will be happy to hear any insight on this.
Yeah. I know that the neck hitbox is kind of bothering you right now. And hopefully something will be done, because there is some different things that we can do about it, some kind of interpolation, some kind of simplification of the hitboxes. We will do something.
Just delete the neck.
It's always like this. If we have some, ongoing, let's say, like ongoing rant about some kind of feature of the game, it's not like we don't care. We always try to take it into the consideration and make some changes. So most likely something will be done about it.
Okay, most likely something will be done about it.
Are there any plans to utilize ETS more than it is now? We haven't heard any update about what's being tested on it other than Unity 2022.
It's a pretty big test. It's important. So right now on ETS we have Unity 2022, and we have a responses that it's still the same, and it's good because it was the case actually. We just needed you guys to test the build on Unity 2022
And better performance.
To have the feedback that something that
Same,
everything
but
is
better
okay.
performance.
So we
Everything
will
okay,
switch onto this new version for the main branch, and eventually we will start adding the features that actually suitable for Unity 2022 and add those fancy stuff that we promised. And about the question that is there will be some new stuff to test on ETS. Eventually, yes, I don't have an exact plans for the testing for the ETS, but eventually something will be for the ETS for sure.
No audio.
With that transition
Yet.
to Unity 2022, will players see a difference with how the game works between now and once it's transitioned?
It won't be so noticeable at first, because yet again, it's just the change. It's not like the total change of the game engine, it's just a new version of it. But
Glitches.
new Unity will allow us to implement some technical stuff that will give performance, that will get networking performance, and so and it will be noticeable. But it won't be like this, that the game will totally change in terms of visuals, in terms of networking in one single day. So yeah, don't have those like high expectations on that. Of course, there will be changes, but it will be gradually implemented.
So from the roadmap that we've seen, there are a lot of technical and quality of life improvements. Could you give us a teaser of what's the biggest priority for the team right now? Is it, for example, smoother and more stable FPS across locations, bug fixes, or features to make the gameplay loop more enjoyable?
Everything, because it's always like ongoing process for us to balance between optimizing features, quality of life features. But the good thing is, as I mentioned before, we have separate teams.
You guys started doing that after the backlash, to be honest.
Things all together. So I can say it
In
like
my
this.
opinion, I don't know,
All
I
of the
might be wrong.
roadmap stuff, it's important. It's important for sure. But the most important thing right now that we're doing is the end game content, storyline quest, preparation for
Yeah, I'll
release,
post it.
and the events that we plan to release this and the next year for you. They are huge. They will be remarkable. And this is what we're actually working on, the most of the team working on right now. So roadmap doesn't actually represent all of the work which is going on right now. So
Huge remarkable events, yeah.
yeah, something like that.
Halloween events, I'm
Just
pretty sure.
everything. Everything.
Everything is important. What can I say?
Last question from the community here. You made audio this wipe more realistic and closer to how everything sounds in real life. Can you share a little bit of what has been done behind the scenes to give this level of kind of realism?
So yeah, we reworked the headsets and everything, and it was actually a process that we bought a lot of headsets in real life, and we just record them live in the field.
Interesting. Okay.
So we actually added to the process the engineer team, the sound team, so they basically work together live in the field. They like tested everything and tried to represent the real life prototypes. So yeah, so it's that simple. We just added engineers for the actual live testing of the real life devices, and that's it.
That's fantastic. Hey guys, make some noise for Nikita, please. That's such an incredible interview. I genuinely believe that you will never hear a more honest game developer in your entire life. And now, something that we would love to do, if you guys are interested, I might need some help from Nick and my stage guys with keeping this monitor safe down here.
DJ?
But we would love to get a photo with basically everyone here who wants to be involved.
Okay,
With Nikita
I think we're done,
in the
right?
front.
Thank you guys for watching. If you guys like these kind of informative videos, please leave a like. And also, what do you guys think about the interview? Do you like it? Do tell me in the comments. If you want to check me out on live stream, check out Twitch and YouTube streams. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye, guys. Bye-bye. Say bye, YouTube, or whatever, if you guys want to. Yeah, the Mortar Strikes, they didn't really mention about it. Nope. I don't know, Latino. So I'll clip that